jump in. Engage to win. So if you've been to a Tech Talk before, or you tend to start asking questions right at the end, please ask questions, share, say if you attended Ignite or if you've heard via a blog post or anything of a cool feature, throw it in the chat to engage and share with others on the call. Or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We've got a couple folks on here that can do search or answer with me if I don't know, but definitely do engage and you can win a gift card. And I know a handful of the folks on the call have won a gift card before, so they can vouch that it actually happens. So we would love to see some more participation if you would like. Okay, so now just into Ignite. So before I go through a bunch of Ignite updates, I do want to highlight, and this is such a blurry image, but if you remember Ignite 2020, they announced a ton of stuff, and this is probably the most recent SharePoint update that I've seen come through, and that is the SharePoint App Bar is starting to appear in different tenants. And so we have it at least in one of ours. So you may start seeing the SharePoint App Bar and what that does. So if you have any questions about that, we can do a quick demo of what the SharePoint App Bar does do, so that you see. And it's basically all about bringing an app bar throughout your intranet that follows you around. So I'm going to put a little window right on top. And so now, based on your home site, which was also announced last year during Ignite, you have these relevant, this toolbar that basically follows you around. So no matter where you are, it'll just take you to relevant places. So your frequent sites, my sites, and these can be customized. And then that home is going to be your home site, which right now for this example is going to your SharePoint home, but you can change it to a actual intranet site from there. All righty. So without further ado, what are we going to talk about from Ignite? So you're going to see my little honeycomb on the side. So there's even more than what's in there, but those are some of the biggest items. It says Azure AI. I should have just left it as Azure because there's a ton of Azure updates that have come through. Anything in the honeycombs we're really not going to talk too much about today, but again, I'm going to get you a resource at the end that will give you tons more information about the updates you see over there. And we're really going to focus today on, oh, there's my link. So Book of News, that's the link that I want to provide. So the Ignite March 2021 Book of News, if you find that has a really good outline of everything without going too detailed into everything, so you can find what you're looking for. Today, we're going to talk a ton about Microsoft Teams updates. You may have heard in the grapevine something called Microsoft Viva. We're going to talk about that and licensing. Power Platform updates, there's a pretty big announcement there, and then we'll touch a little bit on Mesh, and I have a video if we have some time to go over a little bit about Mesh. So Microsoft Teams. So some of these items may sound familiar. I want to dive right in to Microsoft Connect, or Teams Connect, sorry. So for those that have partners or vendors that you've had to grant access as a guest to a Teams environment, you now have the capability, well, you now will soon have the capability of actually sharing specifically a channel. What's really great about this is it's a huge ask that folks have had, having a Microsoft team and maybe wanting to share one channel with somebody even inside of their organization that's not in a team, or to a guest. And so the really great thing is, as a guest, it shows up in your main tenant for Teams environment. So you do not have to keep switching your tenants. So this is a huge win for those that have multiple tenant experiences. You'll be able to jump into the Teams Connect. It is in private preview today, but it should roll out later this calendar year. So we're really excited to see that. All right. Your admins, just a quick note for those that are administrators on this call, you will have granular controls allowing you to stay in control of how external users will access data and information, but definitely a really exciting and a big win for those that have that scenario. Meeting enhancements. So as I'm going to go through these, you're going to see the little tag on the top right on when it's available. So just take note, dynamic view is coming soon, so it's filtering through a bunch of different views. So if you've been seeing screenshots that Microsoft has been providing, their marketing team is all over it. They've been showing these new views with people in different spots within Teams, on the side, on the top. So all of this is going to be coming. Dynamic view is going to intelligently arrange your elements, but then the next item is really the new view switcher, which is going to be coming, that you can actually make the choice for yourself. So dynamic view is going to switch automatically, trying to create a best experience for you based on video being presented or presentations, whereas the view switcher is going to allow you to make that choice. On the top left is where they plan to put it, but we will see. So that is a new feature that should be coming soon and available to everybody. The next, I'm super excited about this, is presenter mode. So this is really putting the presenter right in front of their content. You can feel like you're in a keynote. So really taking away a lot of the distractions in that experience. So presenter mode will be coming soon for Teams as well. So very cool. So yeah, there's going to be, I think you saw those three here. I'll just call them out real quick. There's for presenter mode, there's actually 3 modes, and you're seeing them all flicker between them. There's going to be standout, shows you video as a silhouette in front of your shared content. The reporter mode is going to show it as a visual aid above your shoulder, like a news story. And then side by side is going to display you side by side. So all 3 of those views will be included in that new presenter mode. Ooh, I can hear you. I can hear you all now. Ooh, one that's available now. PowerPoint Live is available now. So if you haven't tried this out, find a friend and you can play around with the PowerPoint Live features. It's going to give presenters control, allowing you to have the true presenter view experience for your PowerPoints. It's also going to allow you to have a more interactive experience between switching presenters, where you can just take control as a presenter and flick through the PowerPoint deck. It also gives you the access to allow attendees to navigate the deck on their own. So if you want to give them the opportunity to switch through their PowerPoint without on solo, you can let them do that. Any questions so far? My next favorite, and is available now as well, is live reactions. So if you're giving a presentation, if you did see Ignite, you saw a lot of reactions coming through, and we're going to talk about how they accomplished what they did with Ignite, but you do have the ability to use live reactions really easily today. So we're not in Teams, so it's okay that nobody's reacting to me right now, but next time we'll be able to use those. A couple other call out features I want to bring up is some more meeting controls that are available. Is invite only, so you can now toggle on and not allow for forwarding in your invites. You can disable attendee videos. So as opposed to just turning it off for yourself, you could actually disable it across the board. And there's new chat moderation features that you have access to. Any questions about meeting enhancements on Microsoft Teams? I do have a little bit on webinars that we're going to talk about in a moment. So if it's webinar related, hang tight. All right, we will jump in. Viva. So Microsoft Viva is a suite, is the best way I can describe this. It's a suite. It's got 4 pillars, and licensing wise, they are not all the same. So there's a couple that are going to come with your Microsoft 365 subscription that you currently use. So I'm going to call out those, and then some that do have an added cost per user. So you can see right here, we've got Connections, Viva Insights, Viva Topics, and Viva Learning, and we're going to go in that order, whether or not you'll see how they connect. But we'll go through them. So first one, excited to say, is going to be Viva Connections, and it is included. So it is going to be included in your existing Microsoft 365 and or SharePoint license. Microsoft Connections is all about bringing together a mobile and virtual experience within Teams and or within the mobile app. So there's a lot here really leveraging what Microsoft's already built. And this was a big piece they pulled out in the keynote was, well, what about Yammer? What about SharePoint News? And the idea behind Microsoft Connections is it aggregates all of that content that's relevant to the users and puts it in a personalized feed for them so they can interact with that information. So that will be available soon. And as you can see, we call out the mobile experience is broken up into 3 components. Right now, the Microsoft Teams experience is going to look very SharePoint-esque. So as you can see right here, I should turn on my little pointer, little laser pointer. So it looks like SharePoint, very similar. But what you're seeing over here on the right-hand side is there's a little feed, and that feed is going to be built with your tasks and tools that are curated based on your position and your user. So Connections is really an individual experience that Microsoft is building, and it's going to be available soon, and it is available with your current licensing. So it's definitely something to look into. The Teams experience you're seeing right here, it's super tiny, but you can kind of see it's calling itself ReliCloud is their company name. It's completely custom branding. You can change it to whatever you like. So it's not going to show like a Viva symbol. It's going to show your own custom icon.
Do we know, I mean, I don't know much about, I know Viva, but I don't know much about how this is actually technically going to come into Teams. Like, I know we've got home site and SharePoint. Does it have to be a home site? Could it be any page, or is it really not a page at all? Is it like a whole different thing? Because it looks like you can design a page. You got some like, the here web part here. You've got some news web part right there, on that one screenshot they've got. Do we know anything about that?
Do I know anything?
Yeah.
Kind of. I think it's basically your intranet home site from what I recall, but don't quote me on that. But I will provide, there is another Viva resource book that I can give a link to that goes in detail. In full transparency, it's going to empower your team.
It's marketing.
To do this. Yeah, it's a lot of marketing.
Nice. Marketing.
Yes. And all of us on this call are like, I want the nitty gritty. I want to know how it works, why it works. How do I set it up? And so until it's available, I don't think we're going to have that answer. But I dug through it.
Okay. Because the reason why I'm asking is we got a few folks, and we have clients they've got Valo, they've got out of the box, they've got PMP, they've got different solutions for quote unquote intranet, right, in SharePoint. And how does that actually come through with Viva, or does it not at all, right? So yeah, kind of curious.
No, Viva Connection, so this is kind of their big thing, and it's all about a gateway to a modern engagement experience designed to keep everyone engaged and informed. And I'm like, okay, great. But if you scroll down, if you do jump on this site, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, this is the book. So you can download this free ebook. You don't even have to put any information in. And it tries to dig in, but again, it's a lot of marketing at this point.
Okay.
Very high level, not a lot of the stuff we would normally be interested in, but it's something to keep on your radar that might be something to pull into Teams. As far as how to get it in there, I believe it's an app that you would add, but it's probably an app you're going to add from the global stance.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
Okay, we'll keep these guys posted, because I know a lot of our clients are very, very, very much interested in this. We've been talking about having this idea of sort of an intranet in Teams, and having that be something that's given out of the box from Microsoft. And I think this is basically they were supposed to do it last quarter of last year, and they pushed it to end of first quarter this year, and then it's like Viva. It's like, okay, so that's what you were talking about then, I guess. This is it, right?
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
This is the intranet in Teams experience that they've been hinting at, and starting to come to fruition. It says soon, but no definitive date yet. So we'll keep you posted on all Viva upcoming. There is our next pillar of the Viva experience is Viva Insights. So, and you're going to see, it's going to actually play this. It's going to have no sound, but you can kind of see the little, what's it called? This is your virtual commute that's coming. So right now, Viva Insights is available in a preview. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's really a matter of some personal insights, what's going on with your day, and then allowing you to book some focus time on your calendar. I feel like it really pulls from the insights you may be receiving in your email already. So it's giving you those insights. Who do you collaborate with? If you've used Cortana, if you've gotten her in your email, they have a lot of the same functionality, and they're really pulling it into this entire Viva Insights experience. But let me pull up, and I'll just let's see if it's gonna play nice with me today in the actual Teams environment. I found that I was able to get it to work in the browser version. I think they're working out some of the kinks right now, but I think a lot of people are trying to use this experience to see what's going on.
And so the thing about like the kind of motivation for Microsoft behind this, from what I was reading in their marketing, right, is this is kind of one of the things that we're realizing, I think, with the whole work from home thing, and that for a lot of our clients is actually becoming a more prominent, like new, I hate to say that, but normal.
Yep.
Where so one of our clients has announced that they are, when they go back to the office, quote unquote, back to the office, only 20% of them are going back. 80% are going to stay work from home, and they move their headquarters and the whole thing. But like, it's a huge shift for this company, and it's not a lot. It's a lot of employees actually, so it's a big deal. Microsoft's seeing this and going with Insights. It's kind of like, how do we prevent burnout? And people are working harder, longer, because they don't have breaks. That's where Insights is coming from. Now, we explained it to a client like last week, 2 weeks ago, Michelle, right? And they're like, "Yeah, right. This is just Microsoft being a big brother and like looking, so I don't know, but with what you've gone over here, it does really seem that it is personal focused to try to like."
See which one's inside. I think this is
productivity and well-being. So that's what their tagline is: balancing productivity and well-being. But it seems like that is true. This is not for managers to go through and say, "Is Michelle doing her work?" This is for you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So these are their big stats. So 70% higher stress levels, decreased mental health, and it's all about kind of building in some tools that are accessible, but they're not forced. And let's be real, Big Brother wise. They see everything anyways. It's in our email. Cortana's been telling me that I told somebody that I would do something 2 days ago every single morning. So all it does is
you don't need a manager to do that.
Yeah, Cortana knows. So I think it just provides a much cleaner experience, and then adds some of these new tools, like the tool for Headspace or the virtual Commute, that gives, if you saw in the video, and I know I was talking, so I could have distracted you from that magical marketing video, but it was giving you like, hey, this is what your day looks like tomorrow. It kind of gives you that wind down that people maybe are missing in that commute. I mean, I'm not missing my commute, but I do miss the 20 minutes of quiet time I used to have.
It's this is actually a serious problem with the burnout and everything else going on. I mean, I know that it's something that's on top of our mind at Klarinet with our folks. Like, if you work with any of our folks, you know that they work really hard, and they're very, very, very busy, and we definitely don't want to have them burn out. That's the worst thing. So this is going to be interesting even for us to kind of get an idea around this. So good on Microsoft for realizing that people are people, I think.
Yeah, they're at least creating tools that they can leverage. Oh, where did it go? Come back. No, don't play that video game again. Oh, all the YouTubes. Where did it go? Okay, so here's an example of what is available in public preview right now. Like I said, it's going to look very familiar to the emails you may already be receiving saying, hey, by the way, this is your day. So it's giving me ideas of what I've said in emails, of what I will do, and I can go in here and mark done. So if I have completed this, all of these I can mark away. So just another way so I don't forget things. And then project time. So I've been using this for months, where I actually allow Cortana or Insights, whichever tool it is that's doing it, is actually automatically booking focus time for myself. Because I don't know about you guys, but if if I didn't book time to do my job, I'd be talking to people all day about doing my job instead. So, so definitely adding that focus time has helped me a lot get some of those projects done. So just some tools that you can see right now, and that is easily accessible. So if you're in Teams and you do want to try this or take a look at it, just from your app option here, find an app and just Insights. I'm guessing the branding at some point will change because it's looking, and then you just see Insights right there. So, and then this will again change quite a bit once the whole, you can see there's a lot of tools that they're going to be adding in right up here that will help us maintain sanity. All right. Oh, here, I'll speak to the privacy piece too. It's designed to protect your privacy. So personal insights are visible only to the individual, and for manager and leader insights, customers can rely on their safeguards like de-identification, aggregation, and differential privacy by default. So you are going to be protected as an employee because there will be some different manager and leader insights that give them some tools, but it's not going to be like, hey, your employee A has been sad face for 6 days in a row. It's not going to call you out like that, but it will give them insights to maybe allow them to manage and lead better. On to the next. And our next highly anticipated Viva Topics. I don't have any text over here. I should have moved this little guy. Viva Topics is our big one that does have a difference in pricing. So I'm going to call that out first. So Viva Topics is a really interesting tool. Here's my pricing. It's going to add an additional $5 a month for your users. But I want to explain what it does. So it's using artificial intelligence in emails, in Yammer, in Teams to identify topics. So for those on the call, if you have a project name, like you've got Project Alpha and it's being mentioned throughout the organization, what Viva Topics is going to do is create a topic around that word or that phrase, and you can see in this screenshot here, SOAR. So SOAR is the topic in this scenario. And as people start using the word SOAR, it starts becoming linkable into a topic environment, allowing users to learn more about that topic or project. And here I'm going to pull in, that's supposed to be a little GIF, but I'll bring it in here so you can see it. So we're looking at a message. She clicks on it. You go into the SOAR topic page. It's going to loop around again. And then it gives them who is in charge of this project, what's going on with it. So it allows users within an organization to see what's going on with these different projects or different, I guess, business areas within the organization. So this will be available soon. They're going to add a lot of integration, and it's really about AI, artificial intelligence. It does require, it needs not only the $5 per user per month, but it does require licensing to already be in effect with your Microsoft 365 licensing. So it's just something, another one to put on your radar if you have a lot of need for a functionality of this. I'm probably explaining it very poorly, but Topics is the one they were probably the most excited about. But the next one is where I am most excited about. So I'm going to jump to Viva Learning. Okay, so this is probably one of the most anticipated Viva tools, and that's going to be in public preview in April, as you can see on the top right. You can today, what you can do if you're interested in a learning portal such as Viva Learning, it is going to be included from everything I could find. They didn't have like a specific call out on licensing, but from everything I could find, I believe it's going to be included in your Microsoft 365 licensing. So that is something, put an asterisk on that. I will keep you posted if anything changes on that. But it is going to bring learning into your environment. So this has been the biggest feedback, is that learning is outside of, this is Microsoft speaking, outside of the current organization. So what it does is it's going to bring learning into Teams, and allow you to use some of the tools that you're already using. So if you look at my highlighted section, there's already partnerships with some of the biggest content creators and future integration with some LMS solutions like Cornerstone and On Demand, Saba. We got success factors listed there. So it's going to have a lot of those integration built in. It's going to be SCORN accessible, so you can import your own learning tools, but it is definitely a tool that a lot of folks are excited about. So if you have it on your radar to look into learning solutions for your organization, this is one to put on the list. If you are interested in learning more about this, there is aka.ms Viva Learning, and you can sign up for updates there. And I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. Viva Learning. So if you go to aka.ms/Viva Learning, it's going to take you here. Of course, you can read more about Viva Learning and what will be available. But right here, you can sign up for updates, and they have the option, if you're a customer or a partner, we'll be signing up as a partner, and then to learn more when more information is available. So this is a really cool tool.
So one of the things that I can't help, obviously, but notice, Michelle, is, Viva is like a big deal from Microsoft. That's a kind of a big announcement they made, like, what, a month and a half ago at this point, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's huge, right? But one of the things, like all the things you went over with the kind of the community, what is it? I already forgot what it's called. Darn it! Connections, and then learning and topics and insights, all that stuff. Really, it's all going into teams. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, insights is in teams, topics is in teams, learning is in teams, connections is in teams. Yeah. Like,
we're technically in the teams update section, so we have not left teams updates. Viva just
so
little section.
Geez, so that's what I'm saying. So I know we got some clients on that are like, teams, I hate teams. I'm mad, but at the same time, it's like, gosh, you can't help but feel, if you don't like teams, you can't help but feel Microsoft's going, hey, teams. You know what I mean? Like,
they're whispering it in your ear subtly and not so subtly.
Not so subtly. It's obvious.
Not
it's like,
at all.
Geez, man. Okay. Yeah. Just want to point that out.
Absolutely. And actually, you know what? Let me pull up a slide. I actually had it hidden, but I did a quick screenshot because I thought this was super interesting. This was when they were talking about connections, but I think it really pulls into the whole, why is everything ending up in teams, and where's been the foundation? And you look at kind of the roadmap that Microsoft has been on from modern SharePoint in 2016, communication hub sites, 2018. I mean, it's been a quick roadmap to where we are today, and getting teams. And now we've got Viva as a suite that goes into teams. They're really buying into this. So let us know if you need help loving it, because it took me a while, but I got there. All right.
I'm gonna echo that. It took me a while too. So yeah, not kidding.
It's okay. I think it took our organization turning off Skype for Business, and then I got bought in. So
yeah, I was forced into
it's really
kicking
okay.
And screaming. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. It's gonna be okay. Once you learn all of the tricks of Teams, and honestly, I can't, and I'll speak for myself. The last year in Teams has been incredible. They've launched so many, and of course, it makes sense just with work from home being so prevalent. Teams has had so many updates. So if you haven't tried it in a while, today's the day.
And, even Michelle and I were just on that other call before, trying to get that kind of task management solution, kind of discussion, brainstorming kind of going. And it's like, oh, we're bringing up Dataverse Power Apps in Teams. They're only available in Teams. It's like, gosh, man, the functionality that's there is just, not to like try to push that and, sell that like we're slinging crack rock or anything. But, I'm just saying, like, it's hard. It's getting harder and harder for us to even deny, or just to go, hey, you don't have to do that. There's just some solutions now that are going into Teams that are like, the only way to get it is if you're really adopting Teams. So anyway, moving on.
Speaking of Teams, I got some webinar updates. So I don't know how long we're going to stay in Zoom. The webinar updates are coming through. They look pretty exciting. So happy to announce, because 1,000 people interactive webinars with moderation control is available. soon. You're going to be able to have attendee registration and email confirmations, and that's what you're kind of seeing in that little visual to the side, where you can see that they're adding not only custom fields that they're asking for registration of the event. So there's going to be a lot of tools for webinars, which I thought was really great. Oh, here, let me read some of my notes. So it says beginning this month. So March being this month, we will be able to have 1,000 attendees for your interactive. Once it goes over 1,000, it will seamlessly scale to accommodate 10,000 person view only broadcast experience, including host moderation control, automatically disables attendees' audios and video to prevent accidental presentation eruptions. And during this time of increased remote work, take advantage of even larger 20,000 person broadcasts through the end of this year, which is really cool. And this feature will be available this month. So I should say it this month, not just soon. So this is going to be even faster. And then following your webinar, you now have attendee reporting. So it will be available to download this month again, and additional reporting capabilities with Teams will be available next quarter. So they're going to add more reporting functionality to that. Oh, there's another visual I have for you. So you can see this is your 1,000-person interactive webinar. And then here is an example of the reporting function on who came, who was registered, and the time of your event. So some really cool webinar functions. We'll have to try it because last time we tried it, Daniel, we had that lag, but it looks like—
to let everybody know, because people get that question, like, why don't you guys use Teams for your webinar? And it's like, well, what happened was when we run the webinar or like a event in live event in Teams, what we were seeing was if you were joining via web, there was a 30-second delay between when I would actually speak, like boom, right now, 30 seconds later, if you were on the web, you would hear that boom, right? Which is just too much lag for us. So we're going to test it out with this, but we'd love to be all in Teams to kind of like drink the Kool-Aid and give it all to you and not have to use Zoom for webinars for these tech talks.
Well, then you guys can react and send me happy faces the whole time, and it would just make me so happy. So yeah, we'll have to try it again with these updates. It makes, especially interactive, makes me think that the delay can't be that bad, but I don't want to assume. We'll have to.
I have a question actually on this one.
Oh, hello, Sam.
Hi, I know, I was just in the background. So I have a question. Is this replacing live events? Do you know if this is taking over, or is there going to be?
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know. But we'll answer that question once you search it.
It looks like they're taking the live events concept and definitely adding in much more needed functionality.
That's what I'm thinking. It's actually going to replace it because this is better than live events, basically.
Kind of like Viva Insights replacing Insights. We had a concept. We're making it even better.
Yeah, I want to say that it is here. If we go to our first little image here, view in browser, does it say what they started? Let's see. Oh, of course, I have it right off the screen. But I think you're right. I think you're right, Samantha. I think it is going to be replacing your live events. Here, I'm going to move this in so we can see what they're clicking on. I really clearly didn't pay too much attention to it. New meeting. It looks like it's webinar and live event are both in that drop down. It was very fast. So great question. Yeah, looks like webinar is going to be a new feature.
I think it's going to add more of that kind of like you said, that interactive experience versus live events will probably just be more like, hey, here's a broadcast, here's a town hall with the information, and not quite as interactive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, there's that delay, that dreaded delay.
Yeah, so this will be something really new. I didn't even know they had webinars until all of these updates. So excited to see the updates, but also excited to try webinars. So we will be there. So this should all happen this month. Woohoo! I'm gonna go through my little images again. Okay, another Teams update, just general Teams update is Teams mobile experience. They're going to be enhancing it. So if you have Teams on mobile, you're going to see a couple things shift. There's going to be better access to files stored in Teams while offline. Ooh, for those that worry about that offline experience. There's going to be new search experiences with suggestions that will be available to you, pin chats, and expanded library of emojis and trim GIFs directly into your Teams app. So I know that those are the much requested features. You need more emojis always. And then those are going to be coming to iOS first and then followed by Android. So if you do have users on the app, you can let them know there is an update coming, but no big impact. Okay, we do not have time to go through all the features. So I wrote new calling features. And when I say new calling features, there is a lot. So if you are using calling, I can send you a lot of the calling features that are available. So throw it in the chat if you need more information about calling features. There's Operator Connect, Connect Conferencing, Calling Plan Expansions, Contact Center and Compliance Recording Certified Solutions, Endpoint Transfers, and Low Data Mode. So a ton. There's also new devices for Teams Rooms. I threw a couple images on here for you to take a look at. So they're going to be leveraging those same different views to make it better. These little speakers are actually new, and it's very unique. It's for a Teams Room, and it can identify multiple people's voices, so it will highlight the right person in the meeting. Don't know how it does it. Magic. So those are going to be available. So if you have some Teams Rooms, there's some new technology that is coming out for those. So, whew. Okay, next is security and compliance. Here is some more. We won't have time to go through all of them, but you can see just some quick highlights of the different security and compliance options that are being added. And this is all, we're still in the Teams section. So we're still in Teams, security, compliance, and privacy. So you're seeing more of those features. So if there's any you want to learn more about, please throw it in the chat and I have some information. And then last but not least, but for this group, management of teams. So you have even more tools that you can use. I'm going to call out a few of them. So you have the ability to, which ones? Some of them I'm going to dig into further, but you can see the list here of a ton of them. So remote device provisioning, you'll be able to set up Teams, Android devices remotely from Teams Admin Center. So that is pretty exciting. No need to physically handle device. Instead, once the MAC address is added to the Teams Admin Center, technicians just need to install the device, connect to a network, and enter a verification code. After that, IT admins can successfully complete the provisioning remotely. Woohoo! Makes sense, we're all remote. Real-time telemetry, this is a new feature, real-time telemetry for meetings. So if you are experiencing bad meeting experience in the, or events, for quicker resolution, you'll be able to see what is going on, and this will be generated in the Teams Admin Center and meeting reports. So it will provide detailed information around network, jitter, packet loss. I'm going to throw out all the words, latency, and frames per second, all while using audio, video, and screen sharing sessions. This will ship the first half of the calendar year. So we have a few months until we can bug Microsoft. This is one I'm excited about. So app risk evaluation, again, Teams. If you are pulling in a Teams app, this will actually allow you to run an app risk. So for your compliance teams that have those concerns, this will be where you can check to make sure that you are following your own compliance standards. Yay. Power Platform. So this is their biggest announcement. It's not out yet. I have my question marks on the top right. I could not for me, if you did find an answer, so throw it in the chat, but I could not find when this is coming, but I'm saying it's coming soon. It's Microsoft Power FX. So it's all about low code programming. And this is where I get really excited because it means I will probably play with this the second it comes out. It's a new programming language for users that aren't maybe as developer savvy. So it is going to be based off Excel. So if you've ever been an Excel fan, this might be something up your alley where you might want to invest some time into it. And it is really built for those low code, bringing the makers and the developers together. Super great. All right. Another Power Automate / Windows 10 update is Power Automate for desktop. And there's just a ton of screenshots in here. But one thing to note is you have Power Automate for Desktop is going to be available today with Windows 10, and that will allow you to create automation within your desktop. So there is a drag and drop designer. I do have Power Automate on here. Power Automate Desktop. We won't have time to create one today, but I can show you the quick experience and what they're talking about. So while it decides to launch, wherever it is, there it is. So this is what it looks like. Is there a way to move this guy? He doesn't want to. Can you guys see that? Okay, he's over there now. Okay, so here is your Power Automate Desktop. It's highlighted in preview, but you can easily see new flow, first flow, create, and then from here, it's going to be listed, and then we can actually, oh, it's actually launched somewhere now. I have to go find it. It opens another window. This happened to me last time. Okay, there it is. Bring it over. So once you've created it, it opens a second window for you to actually start building out your flow. You'll see right here, you have the ability to have a desktop recorder, so you can start recording different actions, and a ton of pre-created drag and drop that you could just drag and drop, list to shuffle. I have to have some data. But you can see as you go through each of these, it's very, very similar to the online experience, but definitely has a lot of different functions because it is desktop focused. So we got print document, well, which document? So you've got a lot of tools that you can use. You can use the drag and drop. There's some pre-built web automations right here. So launch a new browser. So these are all pre-built web automations that you may be able to utilize, and you can monitor flows through centralized logs. So much fun stuff. Has anyone on this call had a chance to play with it yet? I downloaded it this week and have not done too much with it, but it looks really cool and I'm really excited to try it. All right. And then here is a quick rundown of your Power App. So we've got PowerFX, low code, open source programming language, new government security and administration, next generation Power BI Premium. So there's a new Power BI functionality, and then new AI capabilities in your virtual agent. So if you've actually used that before, there's new AI function introduced into that. All right, I know we're running out of time, so want to jump into, I think Microsoft was very excited about this. This was kind of the big shiny item of Ignite, which was Microsoft Mesh. So as you can imagine, AI. So they're always on that. So you're going to see, let's see if it makes all my videos run. There you go. So Microsoft Mesh is all about virtual reality, mixed reality. So you're going to see in these examples that I've captured here on this screen that you have these three pillars that they're really pushing, which is the feel the presence, connect from anywhere, and experience together. So feeling the presence, you can create yourself as a holoportation, get it, or an avatar so that you can actually be in the room with someone. So as you can see in these examples, the one on the right, where the woman, she's using an actual a Vive, that's what it's called, Vive VR headset and handles, and she's actually appearing in their environment as an avatar with those graphics flying around. Very, very Iron Man. I'm excited to try it one day. And then the experience together on the lower left, where you actually have a gentleman showing up in that holoportation experience, where it's actually putting a little hologram of him. So we are in the future today. So if you haven't checked this out, it's a really cool technology. The next thing I'll show you that is available today. So if you have a VR headset and you really want to play around with some of Mesh, there is a Hololens application that you can download. It's called a Mesh app for Hololens, and you can connect with colleagues and co-create. So you can see some avatars on the left, and then AltSpace VR, and you'll see AltSpace VR available for Oculus and a ton of the VR solutions. I think I saw it in, I'm gonna forget the name of that gaming platform, and now I'm gonna revoke my nerd card. Stream? No. Anyways, it's on that gaming platform with all the games. Come on, Samantha, help me out.
Sorry, which one? Oculus?
No.
No, you said?
I was trying to think of the gaming platform where all the games come from.
It is Stream.
Is Stream?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, cool. So AltSpace VR, so you can get that. If you're using a mixed reality or a VR headset, you probably have Stream, and that will allow you to download AltSpace VR. And this is actually what they did for Ignite. So I was wondering the whole time how these little avatars had hearts popping out of their head, and that's how you can do it. And you can actually use some of this today. So you could do virtual town halls, work gatherings. They explained it for a lot of different things, could be used for education. So AltSpace VR is just something that is available now. All right. That's everything I had for today. I did want to highlight some of our social items. I don't know if we have any chat items.
Oh, you know, that's actually a good point. If you're not following SP Klarinet at Twitter, we actually do use that. We used it on Monday when Microsoft was down. So that way you guys could like be informed on what's coming from Microsoft. Right, Michelle?
Yes, yeah. So if I see outages, I'll throw it on our I'll essentially retweet Microsoft telling them.
Yeah.
So if you ever are wondering, there is a couple that I could just recommend if you, from your side, from the IT side, want to have some good Microsoft Twitter handles to follow as well. We do try and retweet big announcements, but there is some status Twitter handles that we follow for this exact reason, because there was an outage earlier this week and it took me a while to figure out what was going on. Found out on Twitter.
Cool. Well, I think that's basically it. A lot of good updates. Michelle, thank you for doing the research and time and attending Ignite, actually. So, and helping us out like as a team. Collective knowledge is the way to go, right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, if there's any questions from the clients, there's obviously some things that the team here is going to keep an eye on for you, you know, with Viva and other things that are there that we've kind of already highlighted and said, okay, we'll keep an eye on this one for you, that one, and we'll inform you guys especially as your needs come forward, right? We can take a look at what the appropriate solution is from the Microsoft 365 stack and try to, you know, basically right size that for you guys. So, but if you have any specific questions or want to talk about any of this stuff further, obviously we're all here at your disposal. That's what we do. So let us know. Yeah.
I also lied. It was Steam, not Stream.
Steam.
It was one.
That's so close.
I know.
Oh
Stream
God.
is Microsoft. Steam is
We
gaming.
knew it didn't
there
sound
we go.
right.
We should have had Arslan as a panelist. Did we have any questions? Do we need to raffle a
We
gift
don't
card?
have any questions. Unless
No, but we want to
to
give away. We want to give away gift cards, right? So if you're
do.
still on the call, like throw in what was, you know, maybe the most valuable thing from today's session.
Not coming out of Samantha's budget, apparently.
No, it's not. But yeah, if there is any questions, I threw some links in there. I know Michelle was talking about some of the links that we have as well. So reach out. And there's our Twitter handle for you.
Cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you, everybody. All right. Bye. Bye.
Bye.